This podcast is brought to you by Odiogo.com.
Basic types of poker players in NL Texas Hold'em. Today I write about the most basic or generic types of poker players that exist out there, especially in the arena of no-limit Texas Hold'em poker games. This information will help you recognize what type of poker player describes you and your opponents the best, when playing either live or online poker games. As I am sure you already know, NL Texas Hold'em is a very interesting card game with a wide variety of different players performing all kinds of different moves. To give you an example, some of the poker players tend to check call all the way to the showdown, some like to check raise every second pot they are involved in, some want to see the flop with a 10 suited no matter how much you bet them pre-flop, and some of them will even call you all in pre-flop with 78 suited. Therefore, we can say that every poker player has its own unique style of how he play poker. But despite this uniqueness, we are still able to make general conclusions about a certain player's game in the following terms: how passive/aggressive certain poker player is, how tight/loose certain poker player is. Are you passive or aggressive poker player? You can find out if you are passive or aggressive poker player if you think about checking, calling, betting, raising and re-raising. For instance, if you tend to just check and call most of the times, then you are more passive poker player. On the other hand, if you tend to bet, raise and re-raise most of the times, then you are aggressive poker player. Are you tight or loose poker player? To find out whether you are tight or loose poker player, think about the number of hands you play in, let's say 100 hands. If you play only premium hands, like AA, KK, QQ, JJ and AK, and fold everything else, then you are a tight poker player. On the other hand, if you play 80 hands out of 100, then you are a very loose poker player. You should also know that the tight/loose dimension depends on the type of the Texas Hold'em game being played. For instance, playing 20 hands out of 100 in full ring NL Hold'em game can be marked as loose, whereas playing 20 hands out of 100 is not loose in short-handed NL Hold'em poker. The most basic types of poker players. Based on the information above, we can now determine the most basic or generic types of poker players: tight and aggressive poker players, tight and passive poker players, loose and aggressive poker players, and loose and passive poker players. Of course, every one of the poker types described above has its strengths and weaknesses, some even more than others, but since the purpose of this blog post is to introduce to you the most basic poker types of poker players, I will describe that in my next blog posts. Make sure to stay in touch with me, so you will not miss out on it. Now that you know about the basic types of poker players, what can you say about yourself from this point of view? What kind of player are you? Are you more aggressive than passive? Are you tight or loose? Tell me about it in the comments below, and good luck at the poker tables. This is a post from Online Poker Guide, SEATMANN.net.